The world is lacking original thought. If you look online or you look at businesses, people keep copying what's already been done, what's already been successful. You see Nike, you're like, okay, I got to make a clothing brand. You see these people talking about e-com, about drop shipping, about agency. You're like, okay, I just got to copy that business model because they're making millions of dollars. That's how I will make millions of dollars. And it works. Like, this isn't something that doesn't work. But is that really what we want to be doing with our lives? Like, when you're on your deathbed and you look back at your life, would you rather have done something that's already been done 1,000 times, but you just played that same game and you won at that same game? Or would you have rather came up with something new, something unique, a new idea that can benefit humanity? My unique idea, which isn't that unique, like other people have talked about this, but self-experimentation is the way that you can create new ideas. Where does any idea come from? We have 8 billion people on this planet coming up with ideas, expressing themselves through their work, through their art, through, conversations with each other. That's how creativity gets passed around, right? Even when you watch a YouTube video, you're just getting some information from someone, some entertainment from someone, and ideas passing down to you. If you read a book, it's the same thing. Everything is simply information passing between humans, whether through education or entertainment. But how does that original idea come from, right? It usually comes from some individual experimenting in their reality and deciding this is the idea I want to express. Self-experimentation. If you spend all of your time simply copying what someone else is telling you to do, you're never going to come up with something new. And so self-experimentation is the way that you come up with unique ideas, your direct experience, what you think based on all of your experiences, because we're all different. All of us, since we've been born, have had like a slightly different texture of experience. Even if you're twins, raised in the same household, same parents, same genetics, you end up doing different things like with your time. Like one kid's in a playground and the other kid's like playing video games all day. It's like all of these experiences kind of come up with this unique conglomeration, this unique mix that makes you who you are. And yet most people just read the same books, watch the same media, watch the same shorts, consume the same content. And so they just come up with the same copied aspects of whatever, concepts that they are consuming. But unique ideas are formed through your own direct experience and your own experimentation. When you're like, let me try out like this new thing. And I saw this in action the other day. At my gym, they give these classes out and they have a bunch of fitness conditioning classes, but they also had these yoga and breathwork classes. And I signed up for one of these over the weekend. And this guy, he did something very interesting. So if you've ever heard of Yoga Nidra or body scan meditation, it's this practice where you sit and you get guided to place your attention on different parts of your body. And you're able to relax and open up different parts, and then it leads to this whole body experience where you're super relaxed. And then there's also these things called sound baths, where you sit in a room and they play a set of instruments with different frequencies, different sounds. It's really nice. You should try this. And you get into the zone with all these frequencies where you feel healed. It opens up different parts of your body. It's really nice. I went to this class, and this guy combined these 2 different meditations I've tried in a bunch of different places. Like as you're doing the Yoga Nidra, as you're imagining placing the different attention on different parts of your body, like he'll say, place your attention on your chest, place it on your shoulder, place it on your elbow. He actually goes and he puts a bowl on that different part of your body. And then he plays the instrument. He creates that vibration. And so now your attention is on that part of your body, which is already like helping to relax the area. But then he combined it with the sound frequencies to further relax you. It was so beautiful. And I took another class with him like right after this, and it involved yoga, where you do these deep yogic stretches, like putting your leg down and like kind of pressing into it. Or imagine a butterfly where you have your legs together and your like head is going down. And then he placed a bowl on your back. And so you're in this deep stretch, like you're feeling like If you've done yoga before, you're feeling like that tension sort of release, you're relaxing into it. And then he hits the bowl and then you're feeling like a vibration as it's going on. And it creates this even more deeper bliss, deeper relaxation. So beautiful. And I went up to him afterwards and I started talking to him. I was like, yo, like what teacher, like where'd you learn this from? Like I've done yoga nidra, I've done sound baths, but never together. And he told me, oh, I just experimented with myself. I just put the bowls on my body. Yeah, first of all, I was like, you did that by yourself? Like, how do you even, like, you're sitting there in a room, like placing a bowl, placing your intention and doing it. And he was like, yeah, that's exactly what I did. I was like, holy crap, that's so cool. I love that so much. Because then how else would someone have figured out that you can combine these things, right? It's only when someone just decides to experiment, do something random, that you get this new technique that can help a lot of people. I found that so beautiful. And so for all of us, you know, it's good to imitate. It's good to imitate the professionals who have put decades into their skill. Like that's how I learned marketing. That's how I learned so many of my skills. But there comes a maturity point where you need to start experimenting with your own reality. You've learned like how to do certain skills. Like let's say you're in marketing or in finance or in accounting or in whatever. You need to start coming up with new ways to do things, your own opinion on how things can be done. That's how you come up with those ideas that can turn into businesses. That's how you rise above the other people on your team or in their competition. That's how you become higher and higher quality, is through your own direct experience. Because if you just copy, if you're just a summary of all the information you're consuming, chances are there's someone else who's also consuming that information. Chances are there's 1,000 other people doing that. And you're all coming up with the same ideas, the same stuff. And you're going to be beaten by the person who's experimenting with themselves and even just doing it like 1/10 of the amount of time that you're putting into consuming information. Because a novel idea is going to beat copied information. It's not good to be the 1,000th person to an idea, but it's a lot more powerful to be the first. So try experimenting. Try this out. Come up with some brand new ideas, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on this concept in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to continue your learning journey, watch this next video. Peace.